Do you sometimes feel like you get lost in an experience? Do you feel like the turbulence and turmoil is just unbearable? Like you're in a washing machine, like you're in a Groundhog Day loop of the same pattern, like you're going to get lost in this, like you're never going to come back. The mind might be telling you this is it forever. You're a lost cause. You're never going to get back to normal. You're going to be you're hopeless, you're helpless, you're going to end up depressed for the rest of your life. Or this big emotional experience is never going to go, it's never going to stop. It's the kind of stuff that I hear from people all the time. When their emotional experience is big, and when they've come to identify with that as who they are and saying something about who they are, and when they've come to forget who they really are, all of that combined makes the experience seem unbearable, quite rightly, because it's telling you it's not who you are. It's telling you you're out of alignment. It's trying to wake you back up to the truth of who you are and the truth that this is another experience moving through. And the more we're identified with it, the more we're attached to it, the more we believe it is saying something about us, the worse it gets. Perfectly. Because the worse it gets, the more we pay attention, the bigger the alarm is that's sounding to say, come back home, come back home. Remember who you are. Remember that this is an experience passing through. Because what happens on the other side of that remembrance, is that you see clearly, you feel grounded, you know that you're okay, and that this emotional experience, this turbulence, this turmoil is something that you can handle. You can be with it. You do have that capacity. You are that capacity. And you've just forgotten. And it's so relieving to remember who you are, to remember that you are the capacity to be with and feel and experience everything. Yeah, some of it might be more pleasurable than others. Yes, some of it you might prefer more than others. And you have the capacity for all of it. And I love helping people remember that. I love returning people to the recognition of who they really are and uncoupling who they really are from their emotional experiences, from this turmoil, from this turbulence, helping dissolve the believed connection that says this is saying something about me, helping resolve the inner conflict picked up as a child that connected me to this experience and said you are the same thing. I love helping people return to the fact that they are the one that knows all the experience and none of the experience is who they really are. So both an awakening conversation, the recognition of essential nature, and an enlightenment conversation to decouple, to diffuse, to resolve the emotional charge that sits within you when you think that turbulence says something about you. I love returning people to the grounded knowing that they're okay with everything, and to then see them grow before my eyes with that literally glowing light, with a strength, with an okayness, doing things they've not done for ages or perhaps ever. Simple things like having different kinds of conversations with family members, as well as bigger things in their businesses. It doesn't really matter about the thing. The bit that I love is that they are getting back into alignment with themselves and they're lit up in whatever it is they're doing. They're remembering this incredible capacity they are to be with all experience including ones that might temporarily feel turbulent or like turmoil. So they have that groundedness, so they never need to get lost in that again. They stay as they are and allow the experience to happen. They belong to who they are and allow all experience to move through, just as it's designed, just as it's designed. So if this is the kind of thing that you reckon you could do with, if you sometimes get lost in your experience, if it feels turbulent, if it feels like turmoil, if it feels like you've completely lost who you are, you've lost your ground, you've lost any sense of anchor, then it's exactly the place to come to be reminded of who you are and what your experience is. And I have so many ways to do that with you. Not just the enlightenment event that's running through Wild Fig this year, but also work with Thoughtful Raven, which is the organisation, the company that, organisation, that's a big word to use, the company that Sarah and I set up for the Complete Book of Awakening, as well as all the other books that are in there and coming in there. And so we have so many ways to bespoke what's right for you. And so sometimes the best way is to have a conversation. And if that's what would work for you, then look in the description and you'll find a link to book in a call so we can meet and we can see what's right for you. But certainly your experience doesn't need to continue the way it is. Much love and see you soon.